Poyo, I'm Isaac. It's a Kirby thing.
Yeah, I know. And then I was like, oh no, I can't be cuter than that. And I'm Claire.
And this is Make
Make
That
that
Game
game where we pitch the latest
the greatest
new video game ideas.
that aren't um they're just ideas, folks.
Yeah, they're probably not going to get made. Yeah. So we just attacked and dethroned God, didn't we?
We did attack and dethrone God together.
As it should be.
Two adorable pink, well, I guess I was magenta, little spheres. One with a spear and a bandana, that was me, the hero of this story, and then the other one just sucks and blows.
Don't love that.
What? No, it's a very powerful ability.
Uh-huh.
You used it to successfully attack and dethrone God.
Correct.
I don't
Correct.
understand.
Uh-huh. Yeah, so if you couldn't tell already, we were just playing Kirby and the Forgotten Lands, and we did finish the game.
Woo! Yeah, finish the game.
Well, yeah, so we finished. I mean, we finished it, right? Like we did it. We got to the end credits, right? That's to me. To me, that's finishing the game, and everything else is like bonus.
Okay, yeah, I feel like there's more. It did say to be continued.
Well, yeah. So listeners, as I was telling Isaac before, that as much as I'm not a completionist, and I tend to, um, just finish a game and say bye. I do really want to 100% this game. So this is going to be my first journey to 100%.
And I am right there along. So you're going to speedrun Turnip Boy. You're going to 100% Kirby.
Yeah, I guess those are my two goals. I should write, those are my rocks.
Your what?
Do you not do that in your corporate job?
No, no.
So at my corporate job, we have every quarter, we each have rocks, which are basically like big goals that you work towards throughout like the 3 months of the quarter.
Okay.
And call those rocks. I've heard this before. I've heard of this concept. I just had never done it in like actual practice. So these are the big rocks for us.
Okay. Well, yes. All right. Rock away. Is that ROC?
ROCK, rock. Like a literal rock.
Okay. I thought it was like standing for something. All right. No. Well, hey. And folks, that was our corporate lingo segment.
Yeah, if you couldn't already
on
tell,
Make That Game podcast.
If you couldn't already tell, we are recording at night.
Which We're a little loopy.
It's always a little different. It's always a little special at night.
A little loosey goosey.
Loosey goosey. We don't know who we are. We don't know where we're going.
Yeah. We're not, and what compounds this is not only are we recording later in the evening, but also we are recording mere minutes after. No, that's an exaggeration. Days after the last one, so we haven't had time to percolate. Oh yeah, I'm just gonna be busy this weekend, so instead of denying you listeners, you beautiful, wonderful listeners, an episode, we're recording early so that we can fit around the schedule.
Exactly. I was saying that it felt shorter to me because I edit the podcast on Monday night. So it's like we record on Sunday, I edit on Monday, we're back at it again on Tuesday. I'm like, what is going on? But luckily I do not have to edit it tomorrow night. I have quite a long time to get on that. So that's exciting. So Isaac, we know we've played Kirby. What else have you been up to?
So I downloaded and played a game that I'm going to honk and bonk. So I'll keep it a little secret for now. But besides that, I did want to announce for the news section. Hold on. I got to make sure I got my facts straight. Yes. Okay. Steam Next Fest has begun as of today. So it is a festival announcing a bunch of new games. I have not actually taken a look at it. I just knew it existed. So maybe next episode I'll have played. I guess it's mostly coming soon. Oh, it's got demos. So I'll play some demos. And what we should do is we should both play demos of games that interest us. And then we can kind of do like a taster. Like let the listeners know what games we played and which ones have like our attention for the future, because I think we could work on that. I think that would be pretty easy. I'm just scrolling through. There's some interesting ones. Alaskan Truck Simulator. I feel, yeah, like I would.
Have I heard of that? Does that exist?
There's a bus simulator. There are other truck simulators, but this one is uniquely Alaskan. Let's see. Is it going to be done? So it runs until the 20th. So the day before y'all will be listening to this, it will be over. So, that's kind of awkward. Anyways, I brought it up. Steam Next Fest, folks. Breaking news.
Breaking news, an event that has concluded.
Anyways, I'm going to honk and bonk now, unless you have anything. I'm going to try to...
You didn't ask me.
Oh, I thought Kirby. Okay, what? Hello, Claire. What have your latest gaming endeavors / newses been?
Cannot believe. Spoilers ahead for Kirby and the Forgotten Lands. Skip ahead if you don't want to be spoiled for Kirby.
45 seconds or however.
Yeah, I won't know. So you'll just have to do your very best. If you hear me talking about Kirby, just keep going. Well, I did play Kirby. I want to talk a little bit more about Kirby because I liked it so much. I had never really played a Kirby game before. We had so much fun playing. We've talked about it as like a good collab game before. But I will say that I played as Waddle Dee first. And then I ended the game playing as Kirby. Isaac and I traded off. And we
played the majority of the game with you as Kirby, I would say.
Maybe. I feel like it's more like
we only played the first area, maybe the second area.
First and second, at least, as Waddle Dee for me.
Think.
Anyway, but I will say that playing as Kirby is much more enjoyable because there's just so much more variety. So that's still a little weak, but it's still super fun. And I'm really excited about it. And it was just absolutely bonkers. Like the plot was bonkers.
Welcome to Kirby games.
Okay, if you don't know, Kirby lives on a planet called Popstar. That's the planet name. That's what it is. Okay? I think we just need to get that out of the way.
Yep.
This little Kirby lives on a planet called Popstar.
Now, what? Don't forget to mention that Popstar is shaped like a star.
Like a star, as planets do. Yeah. So it's just bonkers. And then, in the beginning, you're just exploring this little forgotten land. You're just do. You got to save the Waddle Dees. And then by the end, there's like the fairy's gonna sacrifice themselves to merge the worlds. And you're like, what? What?
There's a science experiment where they're like, after many days of sustained invasion, we were barely able to contain the specimen, and now we've got it in the permanent capsule. Then you like, what's that?
There's captured Waddle Dees running on treadmills to power a facility. Like, what in the Stranger Things, Anyway, I did not expect.
Spoiler alert for Kirby and the Forgotten Land.
It is,
by the way.
I don't think we've given enough away. I think they'd still have a fun time playing through.
I just don't want someone to go into this having never played a Kirby game before and like be expecting.
All right. Well, I'll just put a warning in then. So
yeah.
Okay. So also, I have been playing Lila Sky Arc. Pretty hardcore. I stayed up late playing a video game. Oh my gosh, I'm a true gamer. And
until 1 a.m. people.
No, it wasn't quite that, was it? No.
It wasn't actually 1 a.m. It was close. Like 11.
No, it was like midnight.
11 p.m.
11. I stayed up till 11 a.m. No. It was late. It was a school night and it was like midnight. Anyway, so I've been like deep into Lila Sky Arc. Glad to be back in there. And And I think I'm almost done. I think we're in the last area. So
Oh,
next time we podcast, I very well might finish that game. And again, to me, finish is like do the story, I guess, all the way through. But like there's definitely things I've missed. There's areas that I should be able to access that I haven't figured out how to yet. So I'm still discovering stuff. So, I forget what percent I actually am. But story wise, I can tell I'm wrapping it up, which is exciting.
good.
Yeah.
Nice. You're gonna beat it and you're gonna tell everyone how easy the final boss was and compared to the rest of the game.
No.
I I feel like a lot of Legend of Zelda games, or so it's not a Legend of Zelda game, a Legend of Zelda like games.
Yeah.
And I'm judging this one prematurely, having never played it, I think. But I feel like the bosses generally tend to like be fizzled out at the end. Like you've done some pretty complex ones, and then the final one is kind of like a little gimmick. Like Legend of Zelda likes to use like you hit them with a light arrow, and then they're stunned, and you can deal damage to them.
We'll
But
see. I
like
mean,
that is the most base. Like the first boss of Zelda games have like the same mechanic with a different item.
yeah, we'll see because the bosses in this game have all been pretty difficult, and the one before the last one was so super challenging. So that was the one that you had to help me with, where there was like 5 different rounds.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Like that was harder than the one I just did. The one I just did was
Ye-
hard, but it was not as hard.
Yeah, that one seemed really wacky.
Everything
And it was fun.
there are some wacky things in this game because it is super new. So like there's some things that are a little glitchy, but hey, for the most part it's fantastic. So yeah, so Isaac, do you have any honks and bonks now that I've shared my side of the story?
Yeah, so I, as I mentioned, just got a new game today, saw that it was on Steam, had heard about it before, instantly downloaded it. It's called Please Fix the Road by Ariel. I don't know how to pronounce it. Sorry if you listen to this. I'm sorry for butchering all aspects of your name, Ariel Drakowski. But it is a puzzle game. It is about connecting segments of road so that cars, deer, cat, dog, cows, boats, etc., can get from their start to their destination. So it basically gives you a grid of tiles. It has a incomplete road. It shows you a flag and a thing that needs to get somewhere. And but roads can be like dirt roads in the forest. They can be like car roads. They can be train tracks.
Ooh.
They can be water for boats, if I didn't say that one already. And there can be multiple of them at the same time. So you can have bridges that will take a road over a water, or you can have a crossing I don't know why do I not know what it's called? A road crossing which a car can drive by, but also a deer can walk over, but they can't walk over normal road, which is good for the deer. The deer in this game live in a perfect world where they understand
An
pedestrian.
overpass.
No. It's like literally the lines in the road, the crosswalk. What
Oh,
did I say? Crosswalk. Yeah, it's
you said the
crosswalk.
lines for crossing and I wasn't.
Yeah,
Okay.
no, it's the crosswalk. That's
But
the word
deer
I was
don't
looking
use a
for.
crosswalk. Okay.
That's why
Moving
I'm saying
on.
that this game represents the perfect world.
Okay,
First
got it.
honk. Deer know how to use crosswalks. But yeah, it's really pleasant. It's got nice music. It's well, I guess this is actually a honk that I wrote down. It has very relaxing, cozy vibes.
Yeah,
And
I'm
it's also,
surprised that this is the game you're doing and not me.
hey, actually, when I first heard about this game, I like showed you a video of it and was like, and you didn't seem interested in it.
I have no
So,
memory of that. So,
well, we'll talk offline. There's our
okay.
second corporate lingo bit.
We'll take this offline.
But yeah, the vibes are, I guess, immaculate. It's so all right, very cozy, very simple, or not simple because some of the puzzles are devious, but the actual gameplay is pretty simple. You click and you have different abilities. It has a specific list of what you can do, and you have to perform things in a certain sequence. So like it might give you the ability to delete tiles. So you delete 3 tiles, and then you can place a segment of road that's 2 tiles long, and then you can delete a 4th tile, and then it will let you copy 1 tile to another space. And I hope that I explained that well, but like that's what the average like level looks like, and it shows you at the bottom. So you can kind of plan ahead, like, oh, it shows you the shape. It's kind of like Tetris in that sense, where it'll show you the shape of the moves that you've got coming up, and then you have to figure out how to make those moves accomplish the final goal. But also, when you complete a level, so your car gets to its final destination, the tile it's on pops up like a little springboard, launches the car, and then it explodes. And then the entire level like folds away or like turns into a kaleidoscope and like transforms seamlessly into the next level. And that's really fun. That's really silly. It's, I think, the best level transition animation I've ever seen. And I just like that the cars and cows and stuff like explode. Like, you've completed the level. We don't need this garbage anymore. Boom. Get away with them. We're changing the puzzle. I love it. Definite honk. They've got the good vibes. They've got what I think people are looking for when they look for a relaxing puzzle game. I think that they can tell probably just from the trailers that this is going to be the game for them. Immaculate. Another thing I really liked is whenever they introduced a new concept, it was like a freebie level, like completely obvious, like brain dead almost what you were supposed to do with it, but it makes it so that that concept like instantly clicks, because you're like, oh, I understand. If like as an example, one of the abilities you can get is copying a tile. It will have one empty space, and you copy 1 tile, which is a straight road, to complete the road. And you're like, oh, I understand how copy works now. Boom. Simple, easy, great. Very easy to progress through the game. Like I said, they do have some devious puzzles where even though I was blowing through 90% of the levels, every once in a while there would be one where I was like, what the heck is going on here? There was one puzzle that I got to. I like used no hints throughout the entire game, right? So that I've played so far. But then I get to this one puzzle, which is like nowhere near the end. I think 20-25% done. I like tried all kinds of combinations of what I was doing, and I was like, okay, all right, fine. I'm gonna do the hints. I did 3 hints, and then it kind of became instantly obvious, like, oh, that's what I was supposed to do. This actually makes perfect sense now. So also honk, hints really good.
Yay. You know I love a good hint.
Now on to the bonks, because we can't have a perfect game unless it's got Yakuza in the title. But there is one mechanic which is rotating pieces, which I was playing on the PC with mouse and keyboard. I found controlling that very awkward. It only came up in one level. I haven't seen it again since, but I didn't know if I needed to swipe past it or do like a motion or what. I beat the level, but I'm still like until I do it a couple more times, I don't think I'm gonna really understand what that mechanic is. And considering everything else is super easy to pick up, that was just like out of place. I was like, okay, so I see that it's rotating, but how do I get it to rotate the way that I want? Okay, it's where I need it. I'm just gonna move on. And the second thing is some of the roads have ramps. So they have different elevation levels, and roads have to match to the elevation level. Like, you can't just have a sudden transition from a road that was like at the top of a cliff if you like copy it or move it to immediately like a ground level road, because obviously cars can't drive straight up cliffs, so you have to do like ramps and stuff. But at what I noticed, at the angle that you're at, some of the height levels weren't immediately obvious until after you tried to perform a move, and then there would be like the glaring cliff face. So I like copied a piece thinking that they were all like everything along the line was at the same level. Copied a piece, placed it, and then realized, oh shoot, this is at the top of a ramp. But because I'm
Oh,
like viewing from behind, I don't really see the decline down. So,
got it.
and then that with no way to rotate the camera, at least that the tutorial showed me. And if the tutorial didn't show me, I do not know how it works. But I don't think that there's a way to rotate the camera. So I don't know how to resolve that. I don't know if it's just something to like something that the game kind of had to deal with. And it was like, eventually people will figure like there's no timing, there's no penalty as far as I can tell for taking too long on a puzzle or like doing too many moves and undos. So like there's literally no cost in game for copy pasting a piece and then finding out that it's the wrong height level. Just a little trial and error
Okay.
thing, but it is a little annoying, so I must give it a bonk. But overall, I really enjoyed the time that I've spent with the game so far, and I will continue to spend time with this game into the future. So that was Please Fix the Road by Ariel Jerkowski. Apologies again if I mispronounced any of that. And Claire, do you have honks or bonks for me?
Yes.
Amazing.
Sure. So I'm gonna honk and bonk a similar sounding game actually. It's called Monument Valley. It is a mobile game and it is also a chill puzzle game. So and it was developed by Us Two. Oh, like Us Two. Okay, Us Two. I was like, whoa. No, Us Two.
No, us two, you and me. We finally made a
Yeah.
game.
No, we did not. But anyway, so yeah, Monuments. This was recommended to me by one of our listeners, and I played it. So I'm gonna honk and bonk it. Granted, I'm not super far into the game. I've played, but I think I've gotten kind of the gist of how it works. It is similar to it is similar in vibe to Greece, the game Greece.
Interesting.
Yes, because it has this kind of like unknowable main character because they're very little and they don't have many features, but the world is very pretty and colorful. And you're kind of going on this mystery quest. Like it's like, oh, why have you come back? Like there's some mysterious stuff going on. But I don't think the story is what brings us along. It's really about the puzzles. So my first honk is that I have actually never played a puzzle game like this before. I don't know if this exists anywhere else.
Interesting.
So basically you're climbing structures as this little character, and to solve the puzzle, you have to use your touch screen and move pieces on the structure to allow for the character to climb up the top like objective. And the it's basically like, have you ever wanted MC Escher but a video game?
Yes, I actually say that every morning when I
Well,
wake
then
up. When I first wake up, under my breath, I'm glad that you haven't noticed it yet. But I go, I wish MC Escher had a video game.
yeah, well then you would love Monument Valley. Basically, if you turn kind of the opposite of what you were talking about, where if it looks like it's lined up but it's not. If it looks like it's lined up, it is. So if I rotate this structure in such a way that now suddenly two staircases line up visually instead of they don't line up, then my character can walk up them.
Interesting.
But my character cannot if it is rotated the other way so that they're disconnected. And so that's like the conceit of the game. And that's just such an original concept. I've never played a game like that before. It is pretty cool.
Yeah, no, I'm looking at still images. I'm not seeing it. I'm not looking at any videos yet, but this is a really cute looking game.
Yeah, it's pretty good looking. My other honk is that it is very pick upable and put downable, which I think is really crucial in a mobile game because theoretically you're doing this like while you wait for the dentist or whatever. It shouldn't be something that you have to spend hours in, like you could, but it should be able to be picked up and put down. I will say that if you have to finish a level. So if you start a level, you have to finish that puzzle before you close the app. you can like do other things and reopen it, but I did that mistake and then I had to like go back in and start from the beginning, which I guess is a bonk. I should have saved that for the bonk section, but you can follow
Oh,
along.
geez, skipping around.
Sorry, but I do think that in general, and each level is pretty short, so it's like in general you can pick this up and put it down, and it's absolutely fine. And then the other honk is just in the design itself. It is so smooth. Like the gameplay is just like butter. Like because it's all touchscreen based, because it's a phone based game, and most phones don't even have buttons anymore. So I don't know how else you play. Um, and it's just, I mean, it's like fun to move it around. Like the movements look great. The way you like turn things and have your character walk is super. It's just like pleasing to do. So the interaction of it being a touchscreen game, I think is just really well done. On to the bonks, and I will say these are very me specific bonks. And I think the first one was that like you have to play through the whole level. And it made me think of how Isaac needs to read a book like a chapter at a time. I mean, he can read more than one chapter, but like he cannot end on in the middle of a chapter, whereas I'm like, I'm tired and I'll fall asleep in the middle of a sentence. So
it's absolutely true.
And we also talked about how I need to like sometimes I'll play a game for 2 minutes and then just walk away. So the fact that I have to be careful a little bit with this game about when I leave is not my favorite. But again, that's just me. And then the other bunk is also me. I'm just not a big puzzler.
How dare you?
I'm just not a big puzzler. I mean, it's so pretty. So that brings me back, but I think genre wise, it wouldn't be my first pick. I think I like a more story strong game, which was actually I think one of my bonks, or similar to one of my bonks for Greece, where like I just was like dying to know more of the motivation versus just solving the platformer puzzles. It's kind of like
you
that.
Wanted the story.
Yeah, I like a story, and there is a story here. Like there's stuff. It's not completely void of one, but it's obviously not the. I mean, it's a mobile puzzle game at its very core, which is totally fine if you love that stuff. I mean, get this game is absolutely fantastic for that. It's just I don't know if it's gonna draw me in. Although I will say, Matchington Mansion. I downloaded that. I played like 2 levels. Didn't play it again for like 2 years, and then the pandemic happened, and I just now it's like my favorite mobile game. So you never know.
And that seems like it has a pretty in-depth story.
Actually, you're right. One of the reasons I like it is because there's like neighborhood drama and you can read character bios and like all that stuff. So, yeah. So that's really all I have to say for Monument Valley. I think it's absolutely great. Again, if you like puzzle games and want something very chill and clean and fun to look at on your phone instead of scrolling aimlessly through Instagram at Make That Game Pod, then yeah, you can. This would be a great game.
Smooth.
Thank you. Yeah, so that's the end of my honk and bonks, which means after I do a good honk and bonk, I'm always like, what other games could exist, could possibly, potentially, but not probably exist in this world? Isaac, do you know?
I actually have a brilliant little game.
Yeah?
To pitch to you, my
Perfect.
potential investor.
Yes.
Here's this game. It's called Expando. It is a side-scrolling platformer game where you cannot jump. You can only expand / shrink your blobby self.
I think the elevator pitch of a platformer where you cannot jump, you've sold this game.
Yeah.
Like that's all you have to say. You've sold this game.
Okay, boom. All right, I'm done.
No, I want to know more. I want to know more. I'm just saying that's a really, really good pitch because it makes you need to know more. I love that. Anyway, I just wanted to congratulate you on selling your game in the first 2 seconds of talking about it.
Thank you. I've practiced at this, but yeah. So all right. So your character is going to be a little blob.
Correct.
And you can grow yourself and you can shrink yourself. Those are the only 2 actions. I'm guessing in order to add some playability to this, like long-term playability, there would have to be new abilities to be unlocked. But I think you can do a lot with just environments and not necessarily abilities, but like different maybe interactable objects in the environment. But a basic example of how this game play is going to work is, let's say that there is a wall ahead of you. You cannot climb up the wall, you cannot jump over the wall, but what you can do is expand your size, and what happens is it's a straight expansion in all directions, but you are a blob, so you kind of like settle and smudge into places as you expand.
Okay.
So you expand yourself enough. There's a limit to how much you can expand, and probably one of the power-ups you gain throughout the game is increasing your expansion power. But you expand big enough, and you kind of plop over the wall.
Good.
Right?
Yep.
And then you shrink yourself on the other side, and you move on. Or now maybe here's a wall with several pegs going up it. So you expand yourself, and then shrink into one of the little peg slots, and then expand yourself and kind of rise up again.
Now, can you move forward and backward?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure because I know you said it's scrolling, so I wasn't sure if you're also kind of scrolling.
Oh, when I said side scrolling, what I meant is it's like pure 2D gameplay.
Okay, I thought you meant that it's literally like the time-based games where it's like moving.
No.
Okay.
Well, maybe that's challenge mode.
Okay. Yeah, I've got it clarified because that's what I was imagining, but I like it regardless.
Yeah, and I'm thinking things that you can pick up or interact with in the environment, right, are maybe there are sticks that you expand into and kind of absorb into yourself, but when you shrink, they kind of fall out of you. Well, not necessarily fall out, but like you can use them as like a lever to hoist yourself.
I see where you're going. I do like the idea of absorbing things as part of it.
Yeah, like loose objects in the environment will be absorbed into you, and you can like carry them around, and depending on how you expand or shrink, depending on like where they end up within your blobby form, you can kind of use them to interact with the environment in a couple of different ways. So yeah, that's Expando. I could expand on the concept a little more, but I'm going to leave a lot of it up to the listener's imagination.
Wow.
And move on to asking you if you've got a pitch for me this pitch sesh.
I do. I mean, I'll say I barely did, but I do. Like I said, it's a quick turnaround for pitch. My pitch is called Dinosaur Disco. And if you want to listen to a really great soundtrack, you can listen to the Chuck E. Cheese Summer of Fun album. And there's a song on there called Dancing Disco Dinosaur Party. And that's what I imagine playing for this whole game. And it's a very simple concept. I feel like, I'm bringing the simple games lately. I got to get back to the complexity that was B&B, many, many moons ago, that had so many components to it. But we'll get back there someday. But today, it's a simple game. And it's called Dinosaur Disco. And it is a virtual reality game.
Okay.
And in this virtual reality game, you're going to have an avatar, as most virtual reality games require of you. That avatar is going to be one of those blow-up dinosaur outfits. You get to pick what colors it is and what it looks like.
Okay.
And then you go to the Dinosaur Disco, which is populated by other players in this outfit. And you just get to dance.
Okay. Does it score you in any way, or is this more of like a social game experience?
It's like a social game experience.
Okay. All right. No. Yeah. We can work with that.
I guess there could be some kind of. I think it'd be fun if you could like earn different dinosaur outfits, and like maybe like glow sticks or hats and stuff.
Okay. Yes. but so I guess what would be the mechanism? Like, would it grade you?
I mean, this is more of a vibe check, right? So you're helping me
you're
out.
right.
So
you're right. So I'm trying to think of how the game might grade you. Okay. So okay.
I don't want it
There is free dance. So there's free dance.
So just to be clear though, because I think I know where you're going, like more of like a Just Dance, like you have to like do certain moves.
Yes.
I'm not sure if I wanted to go there because I just love the idea of people just throwing themselves around in these outfits virtually.
Well, so specifically I was thinking with it
Yeah.
is that is an optional area. Like you specifically go like this is where you earn disco like points to buy disco lights or light sticks or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So like you choose to do that, or you can just freely dance, do whatever you want.
Yeah, I guess people like these days probably, I don't know, I feel like there's a lot more
People like structure.
yeah. And maybe in the free dance one, they can play songs from the game one so you can like dance along to the actual moves if you want to. Because
Hmm.
I do think there is some joy in like a giant room of virtual dinosaurs just doing a choreographed number, right? Could there be like a
Exactly.
choreography room where people can design their own dances to do with their friends and then they can like do a talent show? And then people can vote on the best dances and stuff like that? It's a
Yes.
social network
Okay.
is what I mean. It's a
Yes.
social network. Like this is the next big social network called Dinosaur Disco. Um,
And everybody's already downloaded it. Everybody's already
yeah,
involved in it.
if you're not there, you're missing out already.
Much better than Meta.
It's better than Meta. Well, I mean, technically, for the essence of what the metaverse is, this would be part of the metaverse.
Well,
Not part of Meta the
yes.
company, but part of the metaverse. But you know, better than Clubhouse. Clubhouse apparently is dying. FYI, news,
I've
I
never
guess.
even heard of that
You've
one.
never heard of Clubhouse? That surprises
No.
me. That got big in late 2020, I think. Maybe 2021. It's basically like all audio, but so it's basically like podcasts, but just people talking. And then you can go into rooms live and just hear people and just like chat with people out loud.
Okay.
And honestly, I'm surprised it ever made it because that sounds terrifying to me. But
Yeah, I want
it
to be
did, and it was
involved.
really popular. But I think it was really popular for one reason because it was invite only, which just makes it feel exclusive and people wanted to be part of that. But now that more people have it, people are like, I don't care anymore. That's my theory. But anyway, so it's going to be better than that because you're a dinosaur in a big puffy dinosaur outfit. That's dinosaur disco.
Well, I'll fund it. I won't
Okay.
use it because VR and dancing are both for me, but I'll
VR
fund
is
it.
for you? I didn't know that.
Yeah, every time I've ever used VR, I've just like not felt it.
Well, oh yeah, I think we did. Maybe we did have this conversation because I think I was like, well, did you play a phone VR or a real VR?
I played the Oculus Rift dev kit when it first released, okay?
In like what year?
Anyways.
Anyway, sure, yeah. If you're ready for the rapid fire, I'm ready for the rapid fire. Let's do it. So in the rapid fire round, we take 3 randomly generated words and we have to come up with a game idea in 5 minutes around those words. Will we stretch the meaning of the words? Absolutely, we will. Will it count? Yes, because we are the only judges of ourselves. All right. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Okay. Here we go. Are you ready?
Sorry, I did. Are we doing full 5 minutes? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, I'm ready.
Okay. X, like EX, X,
Okay.
proud.
Okay.
And then the worst one, secretion. Ooh.
Okay, I was getting into the Pride Month spirit
Oh, I
up
like
until
it.
you got the last one.
Right.
I don't think I want no.
Okay.
No.
Well,
Well,
no, well, let's take the essence of secretion and we could make it like a confetti cannon, right? You know, it doesn't have to be
or actually, so I have an idea.
mhm.
You are a a hero, like, all right, so the protagonist, right? They have had a breakup. This is the story.
Okay.
They have
Gotta
had
love
a
a story.
breakup. They've had a breakup, and then they find out that a monster is attacking the city, and the monster is some kind of slime based. It's the blob that ate everyone, or
Wow,
someone,
you just got
something.
blobs on the brain.
Yeah, yeah. It could even be the blob from Expando. We could
It's an
cross over
Easter egg.
this. Uh, and you have to fight your way through the city to rescue your ex. because they live at the epicenter of where this blob attack. So I think if I remember Cloverfield correctly, it's basically that. But with
do you have to come to terms with like you're clearly still hung up on your ex if you're fighting through a evil monster to
yeah,
save
that's
them?
all part of the
Like, do
story.
you
That's all
find
part of
your
the story.
ex making out with somebody else because it's the end of the world and you have to like really confront that?
Yes, this game is actually going to ultimately be about handling breakups in a healthy way through the lens of a monster attack. It's going to be one of those fake out documentaries, but in a video game form, where you think, oh, I'm definitely going to get together with my ex again after I rescue them, and then bam, actually that's not how
Like,
it works
that's
out.
just not how the world works. Sorry.
You got to handle it. You got to handle yourself.
You can't be dependent on that. All right. Well, I think that is good. Well, we are going to call it um I don't want to give away the twist in the title. I want people to think like, "Oh yeah, I can definitely get back together with my ex."
Well, I think that we could give it like a campy 50s sci-fi kind of name,
Mhm.
like Attack of the Blob.
Well, I think that's too vague though cuz I like it.
Yeah.
I want to go in that direction. It could be like the blob that ate my boyfriend or something like that.
Okay.
But not quite
Oh,
that.
I actually really like that. No,
You like
hmm,
well, I think it's like
because it's your ex explicitly
right.
is the thing. So, the blob that ate my ex,
The blob that
the
ate my
blob that
ex.
ate my ex-boyfriend.
Well, but if we could also make it completely genderless too, or gender
All right,
neutral,
yeah, the
not
blob that ate
genderless.
my ex, and then you can make your character. You can make both
Yeah. Oh,
characters.
you've got to have character creation. I love that. All right, the blob that ate
Yeah.
my ex. I would play that. I'd play the hell out of that.
Boom, a minute and 30 seconds left. A
Nice
blob that
job.
ate my ex, an action game wherein you fight through a city to rescue your ex. And also, twist, it's got a deep storyline about overcoming breakups in a healthy way.
Yeah, like
Happy Pride,
destroying.
everyone.
Love it. All right, ready for the next 3 words.
Yes.
Boop-a-doo-doo. Privacy,
Okay.
bottle,
Okay.
driver. Okay, so I'm thinking this is a road game. You're an Uber driver because Uber drivers often have water bottles for their passengers, but there's a privacy screen involved inside the car that like you lifted up the partition, if you will, from Beyonce.
Okay. And is this one those this I have a feel like my emotion is or my heart is guiding me
Mhm.
towards this being a talkie game like Coffee Talk, but
Oh,
also
okay.
a driving simulators, but you never see the characters that you're talking to.
So I was going more with that there was a flash game called Driver's Ed, I think it was called. Do you
Never
know
heard
this
of it.
game? Oh my gosh, it was really funny. Basically, you had to it's kind of like what's the famous one where you have to walk or run, but you have to use all the keys?
Quap.
Yes. It's like that but cars.
Okay.
But that's what I was imagining. But you know what? I actually really like yours because maybe there could even be an element of you see people out on the street and you have to like wonder like,
Is that them?
is that
Is
that
that Nathan
passenger?
from the other day? Is
Yeah.
that Nathan having a really dramatic scene as I drive by, but I don't get to be privy to that because I'm just a driver?
Yeah. So this will be like a coffee talk Valhalla, but you're in a car. And so the driving aspect of like getting each person to their destination, I mean, you'd start to figure it out because as you drive this like to the similar destinations, right? You can
Oh,
kind of
that's right. And you can do really dramatic things for storylines.
hmm
I don't know. I don't remember if Coffee Talk had like actual like if you could make yes or no choices or
no,
like
it didn't really have
interact.
yeah, not
Okay.
really.
But I'm thinking that this could have something like that. Like, all right, you drive this person to their partner's house multiple times, and then you drive someone else who like makes it very clear
Oh
that
yeah.
they're like going to that house for, adulterous purposes. and then you have the option of telling the person that you usually drive, like, hey, I drove this other person, it was sketchy. Do you get yourself involved in their personal lives, or are you just a driver? Boom, boom, boom. Drama.
I want to play this game right now. I want to play this game right now.
All right, well, I'll start developing it. I have 2 minutes and 15 seconds to make it work. So
I mean, we've got to have a name before we develop it.
That's true.
It's called, gosh, I don't know.
Oh boy, the naming of some of these games is the hardest part. Is there like, what's like the trademark filed off version of Uber that like sitcoms and stuff would use?
No, they don't. I think they just say, I'll call you a car.
Oh.
Or like, I'll order a car, or like a cab. It could just be a cab. It doesn't have to be Uber.
That's true. Oh, well, maybe private cab. That's not descriptive enough. Maybe.
Yeah, it doesn't. If I saw that listed on Steam, I'm just going to keep scrolling.
We've got 30 seconds left.
It's called Pedal. It's called, just call it private cab or whatever. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't have anything better, so it's not terrible.
Okay. Private cab.
All right. So are you ready for the next 3 random words?
Yes.
Parking. Another car theme.
Oh, geez. We love cars tonight.
Gem. And trouble.
Parking, gem, and trouble. Okay.
Car thief, parallel parking.
I like car thief.
Okay.
But like parking just seems like a bad like
How about this? You are a car thief, but you can only steal cars that are currently parallel parked in very tight spots. And you have to get them out of their tight spots without hitting the other cars and drawing attention to yourself.
Okay. Yes. Where does gems come in?
The reason you're stealing the car is there's gems inside.
Okay. All right. So every car that you steal is filled with gems and is also parallel parked in an increasingly awkward positions for you to get out of, but you have to get out with minimal damage to the car that you're stealing and the environment. So, okay. We're going to get silly goofy with this. The cars are full to the brim with gems and the windows are all down.
Oh, so the gems fall out.
So as you bump into things, like you're not worried about the cars getting damaged because you're driving away. You're never seeing these people again, but the gems are literally falling out, but you can't get out and grab them because there's a bunch of people that immediately run over and scoop them all up. Wow. And I'm imagining that the graphics look exactly like Untitled Goose Game.
No, correct. I think I was already there. So yeah, absolutely correct.
And absolutely correct. The game is called Unparking.
Yep. I love that too.
Boom. 2 minutes and 50 seconds left.
Beautiful.
We killed it.
I want to use this opportunity to say that when we're talking about collaborative games, Untitled Goose Game did not come up, and I think it should have because that is a fantastic collab game as well.
Yeah. And I think that one of us or both of us should try the game solo because I don't know if it has like a different game if you play together. That's true,
because there were some things that would be, I don't think we could have done in what we had to do alone.
Yeah, we had to have some coordination,
some
which is
like
a
distracting
good sign.
Geese with some sneaky geese, some carrying things together geese. I don't know. No, that's why. But I think that again, like you said, that's a good sign of a collaborative game is things that you have to do together. It doesn't make the second player feel like, oh, I'm not part of it. I'm just a little Waddle Dee, I guess. Yeah, well, I guess that's the end of our game. I will say, listeners, if you have a better name for Private Cab, please do write
Email us.
Email us at makethatgamepod Cast. You can also tweet at us at Make That Game Pod. You can find us on Instagram at Make That Game Pod, and you can find us on TikTok at Make That Game Pod. You can also also you can use the hashtag Make That Game if you are talking about games or our podcast or things you want us to see. So we love that. It's late, folks. It's late o'clock. If you heard a game tonight that you're like, I really need this in my life, I want to play it right now, we encourage you to go out there and make that game.